All right, and welcome back to case study number 37 of this series, so brilliantly titled Kirk's 40 Case Study Closings. I'm your host, Ryan Kirk, and these case studies range from vacant lots to custom luxury homes and total $2,042,081.71 in profits and equity. Without having to personally go see the property on some, with no cash, no credit of my own, it varies and I'll explain. And I do it all with Flip Logic and 1-888 cash offer. Now let's get into number 37 of the 40 case studies. And that brings us to 2526 Singing Vista Way in El Cajon, California. As you can tell, looking at the two photos, this property is in pretty good shape. You wouldn't even think to want to dig into it any further. While that master bath is beautiful and you don't really, I don't think, need to do anything to it. And the front of the house looks good as well. There are some other interior photos. The kitchen and flooring, and I think one of the baths that did need remodeling. But here was the other thing. The circumstance preceded the condition in this case. We got this lead from a real estate agent that we know, so that's how it originated. It was off market and an expired listing. So a way that you could have duplicated this lead type or this specific lead is if you would have ran a campaign or either direct mail, and if you would have mailed that direct mail campaign to expired listings, it would have generated this one. And so an agent that we know, she had this lead and said, the sellers, they're very motivated, and the reason is they're relocating. And as you can see, it's a military transfer. The seller, he's the captain in a Navy, and they were relocating, I think, overseas. So they needed to get this thing sold. They needed to get it sold quick. It had expired. They couldn't move it. So what we determined was the ARV to be $750, and the repair costs on this, we made it cosmetic. So cosmetic, your very low end of the repair cost price per square foot, which was about $15 a square foot in this higher ARV type market is 15. Maybe in your lower ARV markets it's 10. If you would have saw from one of our past case studies in Lake Elsinore, we had it as low as $6 a square foot, and that was just for popping out countertops. It wasn't for remodeling a whole kitchen. So this needed a whole kitchen remodel, bath remodel, not on that master, and some flooring. So that was going to be more than, and then there was also, what else? I think there was some painting and termite work. So, and this is a big house. This did come out to about $15 a foot is what we had placed it at. So $70,000 when you multiply that against the square footage. Purchase price we got it for was $540. The seller said yes by law of reciprocity. Hey, Mr. Seller, if we pay all cash, pay all the closing costs, accept any real estate commissions, and we close in 14 days, what's the best price you can do? And then, of course, if that's not a price that will work, you have to let them know, well, best, we need to be closer to the, in this case, 540 mark. Our investor came from a marketing blast or an instant cash buyer lead search that you can generate with keywords in that area and do a marketing blast too. You could also pick up the phone and call them and pitch. Or you could also check the comps that you use to support your ARV, check for any of those that had sold twice within 12 months, pull that chain of title, see who is on that chain of title, look them up by a skip trace or a Google search, call them, pitch the deal. They would be a very good candidate to buy your subject property as well. Now, our investor paid $575 for it, which is, if you take $575, add the $70,000 in repairs, that gets you, I think, $645, and then divide that into the ARV of $750. So you're reverse engineering the numbers here. That would give you 86%. So our investor paid 86% of the ARV minus repairs. So ARV times 86% minus repairs. There's an indicator of that in Flip Logic as well, because it's an important price indicator to know. The resulting ROI was probably around 10%, and that's a good deal in these higher ARV markets. That's what we're finding these properties trade at. And so our profit on it from 540 to 575 was $35,000. We put the property under contract, purchase and sale agreement, and we assigned it to our investor, and then he used a combination of hard money and cash, and we closed the deal in 14 days. Now, did we have to use any money of our own? The answer is no, because again, finding an investor within, if you put 5 business days on your purchase and sale agreement for when your deposit is due, that gives you 7 calendar days. If you find the investor within that time frame, they go see it, they want it, they give you a non-contingent price, like in this case, $575. They said, hey, we're ready to move forward. Give us the assignment, give us the wire instructions. They sign, they wire a non-refundable deposit to escrow, and you would never have had to put $1 out of your own pocket. If you don't find an investor within that time frame, then of course you do have to wire a deposit, and you are using some cash for a limited time, and the amount's going to vary depending on what deposit amount that you used. On smaller purchase prices, you can use $100, $500, $1,000. Obviously, the larger the deposit, the stronger the offer. You can even use $10 if you wanted. It really just depends whether the seller is going to take it or counter. If there's a realtor involved, they're typically going to tell the seller to counter that up. 500 to 1,000 can be adequate. When you get into a higher purchase price like this, 540,000, I typically will use 1%. So in that case, that would be $5,400. If you don't have $5,400, then use a smaller amount, or you have to extend that period of when the deposit is due, such as to 5 business days. So in this case, that's how you can do the deal with no money out of your own pocket, not even for the deposit. As far as having to personally go see the property was vacant. No, sorry, this property was occupied. So yes, you would have, just like we had to have somebody from our team be there for the physical inspection. So then that way our investor and the seller, they don't fraternize, talk terms. Any questions the investor has for the seller, it's just answers in regards to the property, any work that was done, any issues that maybe they're aware of that they can share. But as far as terms, price, we always have our investor discuss that with us after the inspection. We always let them know, hey, listen, the owner's there. We're just going to go in. We're going to do the inspection. Feel free to ask any questions in regards to the property. And then as far as terms and price goes, we'll discuss that afterwards. And that's it. And then once they know their non-contingent price they're willing to pay, such as $575 in this case, send them the assignment, send them the wire instructions, send them a copy of your fully executed purchase and sale agreement between you and the seller. Just redact the price. So then that way you keep that confidential. Your price is only exposed once the investors wired their non-refundable deposit. So they have to pay to play, right? And then they can see what that is, because that's none of their business. That's not a merit to the deal. I want to keep them focused on the merits. You want to keep them focused on the merits, which is ARV, their repair costs, and what price they're willing to pay. Not how much do we have it under contract for, not how much does the seller owe on the property, or how much did the seller buy it for. That's not what it's about. It's about what price works for them and what the market will bear. And that's what you want to keep them focused on. That's why we do that. That's it. I hope that helps. Once again, statistically only 10% of YouTube videos are watched until the end. So if you're in that 10%, you're a hustler, persistent, determined to succeed. I wish you much success. Thanks for watching. I look forward to working with you.